Hello, I'm John Fuller. We are continuing our discussion about the U.S. court system, specifically our book, American Criminal Courts, Legal Process and Social Context. This chapter, entitled The Prosecutor and the Exertion of State Power, is a very important chapter. The prosecutor plays a key role, perhaps the key role, in the whole court's process. The prosecutor is invested with a tremendous amount of discretion, and the decisions that she or he makes have a tremendous influence on not only a specific individual case, but also on the entire docket of the court in a judicial term. The prosecutor has three tasks that she or he must enact. First of all, they must decide what charge the defendant is going to be charged with. By this we mean the prosecutor looks at the case, the nature of the circumstances of the case, and decides whether it's going to be first-degree murder, manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter. These are decisions the prosecutor has to make on every case. What is the appropriate charge? The idea for the prosecutor is charge the defendant with as serious a crime as the case permits, meaning what kind of evidence is available to charge the defendant. You don't want to charge somebody with something that you can't prove. In addition to the charging decision, the prosecutor engages in plea bargaining. Here, the prosecutor represents the state and, to a lesser extent, the victim in bargaining with the defense attorney to reduce the charge or reduce the penalty for the charge. Once the plea bargain is concluded, the case does not go to trial, but rather this bargain is enacted and the defendant gets whatever punishment that the prosecutor and the defense attorney agreed upon once it is overseen by the judge. Finally, the prosecutor must establish guilt. In a trial, the prosecutor must present evidence and must be persuasive enough to convince the jury that the person is guilty. So the prosecutor has this pivotal role in the process. The prosecutor is also a very controversial person in the criminal justice process. And this is because the prosecutor has so much discretion, so much ability to decide exactly what happens to the defendant, and so much authority in deciding which defendants are actually taken to trial and which ones are plea bargain. In some ways, it puts the prosecutor in a very, very delicate position because she or he must uphold the standards of the society, but by the same token, they have internal pressures on them to move the docket along. Prosecutor cannot take every case to trial, so decisions have to be made as to which cases are plea bargained. Now, there are a number of factors that influence which cases are going to be plea bargained. One is the public media. There may be a very high-profile case, maybe of a celebrity, and this may really impel the prosecutor to take the case to trial. That's why we see so many cases of celebrities and athletes and entertainers making the news. And the prosecutor has a hard time not taking some of those cases to trial because there would be a media uproar if she or he decided to do something different. Another issue with the prosecutor in terms of using his discretion is many prosecutors need to make sure they establish a reputation as being a person who is tough on crime and really invokes the community standards. Prosecutors are elected in many jurisdictions, and many prosecutors will go on to other types of elected positions. Many people in the House of Representatives and the Senate of the United States Congress are former prosecutors. And so having the job as prosecutor really can be a stepping stone to higher political office. And so this prosecutor, in addition to trying to enact justice, also has a personal agenda in terms of trying to make sure that she or he looks like an effective prosecutor who really serves society. And finally, there are times when the prosecutor will make decisions based upon policies that they've established along with other community leaders to be more forceful in the enforcement of certain crimes. You'll see drug crimes, you'll see gun crimes, you'll see driving under the influence crimes, all become the types of cases that prosecutors wish to prosecute vigorously in order to set the standard in the community. So the prosecutor is an important person in the courtroom work group, and the work that she or he does has an influence on all the other courtroom workers as well as on the defendants and justice itself. Thank you.